Hello and welcome! My name is Ian Crew. I'm an instructor at the Joy of Dance Center in Toronto, Ontario, and the creator of SocialBallroom.Dance, where you can learn your dance at your place on your schedule. We're wrapping up our series on dance and romance this week, looking at, we started by looking at some of the preconceptions that we have when we go out onto a social dance floor and why sometimes a social dance is just a dance. We then moved on to how to sort of get on the radar of another dancer you might be interested in, just how to make a good first impression, and finally how to be able to tell if they were interested in you and how you might respond to move things in a more romantic direction. We're finishing up today by looking at just some things to be aware of and how to make the most of your relationship together. Because, you know, we're fun people, we're pretty awesome, we're usually devilishly good looking, but there are certain challenges that only dancers have, I think. One is that you might be juggling your schedules a lot. Dancers tend to be especially busy when everyone else gets off work. You know, all our dance lessons are in the evenings. If we are working on towards a competition or for a performance, or we've got a social that we're going to, all these things happen later in the evenings and often on a work day. So you might need to set aside specific date nights for you and your partner. Also be aware that sometimes you're going to be getting into interesting arguments over which dancer is the best. You know, whether it's a ballroom champion or a musical, a Broadway performer. I like Fred Astaire. Caitlin loves Gene Kelly. Agree to disagree. Just be prepared to defend your beliefs. When you initially start dating somebody, sometimes it's a little more stressful dancing with them than it was in the past, because there's a little bit more pressure on you know, continuing to put your best self forward. Like, this person's opinion of you has become more important to you, right? Especially if there is a bigger difference in dance ability. So if you are more experienced, don't take this as an excuse. Like, dating a person does not give you the excuse to start nitpicking the moves or their technique. Don't ruin their social dance by turning it into a verbal critique. It will not go down well unless they specifically ask for it. If you're a newer dancer and you're dancing with somebody more experienced, just try and you know, dance the best you can, and just remember that you know, if you're feeling a little bit like, oh, I've gotta raise my game, I've gotta dance up to their level to impress them. Well, you didn't have to impress them with your dancing for them to want to start dating you. So why do you have to do that now? You just work on your own thing at your own level and just enjoy yourself, because probably that's what they liked about you in the first place. At one time or another, you and or your dance partner are going to smell pretty bad. There's things that you can do about it, but the fact is, dance is a sweaty business, and if it's been a late night at the dance hall, or you've been practicing your choreography, and you know, after a few hours, there's really only so much you can do. Sometimes you're just gonna smell a little funky, and it's worth just, you know, accepting that and don't call attention to it when it happens. Also, dancers don't usually, like, we tend to be a bit on the poor side. Either because most of our money is going towards dance lessons, or, you know what, even as a dance instructor, it's not a very lucrative business. Most of what students pay go into the overhead for the studio. It's one of the reasons why I'm getting into online ballroom dance lessons, because that way the students have the freedom to choose where they're going to take those lessons, instead of needing to go to a place that, you know, they have to pay for their own electricity and hydro and everything else, and a lot of the time that space might not get used. But anyways, you might want to split the costs of dating a little bit more. Go Dutch in a few more of those meals, right? If a dancer asks you, well, if your romantic dance partner even asks you for a body massage, it's probably not foreplay. So don't go there unless they're clearly in the mood. They might just have sore muscles, stiff muscles that they need to loosen up because that's what happens when you've been dancing hard. So just treat it as, you're being a good Samaritan, you're being an awesome boyfriend or girlfriend, and don't read anything more into that. Sometimes your partner might want to drag you out to go dancing when what you want to do is go to bed or have a quiet night in at least. I would recommend humoring that at least sometimes because they might want to just reconnect with you in a way that doesn't involve Netflix and chilling. And after all, that's how you met each other. So it's quite romantic to just keep that flame going, keep that flame burning, Finally, if you guys do get married, be prepared for the wedding dance of your life, because odds are your partner is wanting to, or you're wanting to do something a lot cooler than the high school shuffle that you'll see in most wedding dance performances. So you will want to invest a little more time into that dance preparation when you decide to finally pop the question. And that is wrapping up our series on dance and romance. Next week, we're going to start our new theme, which is looking at how you can dance in a healthy way, injury-free for life. And I believe we're going to have our first ever guest appearance. Hopefully we'll have a lot more of those in the future. If you have any comments or questions, as always, message me on my Facebook fan page, Ballroom Dancers Anonymous, or you can email me at ian@SocialBallroom.Dance. Once again, it's ian@SocialBallroom.Dance. I hope you have yourself a fantastic week, and until next time, happy dancing.